Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Actually, I forgot to grab my headset because I switched the microphone in the hopes that you'll hear me better. So, I have to apologize again for last Sunday, but about half an hour before starting the live, I realized I couldn't find my 22 gauge wire. Hi, Tina. And I had to reschedule. I did order new wire, and amazingly, half an hour ago, I finally found the old one. But anyway, I was able to work with the new one. So I did already work on some of the stuff. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Anna. So you wouldn't have to wait on me struggling because remember, I told you before it's a little bit of a hassle for me whenever I have to do all kinds of wire work because of the problems with my hands. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Tammy. And especially if I have to make them under the camera and keep it in focus, it's even harder. So I made most of them already so that you'll only have to watch me do it on one thing. What I wanted to tell you, number one, I've used these little spacers. They are, and I'm not even sure if I added them in my Amazon store or not. If I didn't, I will check after the live and make sure that they are added. This is a set, a kit of spacers. That is one of those super cheapo things. Hi Dee, hi Carolyn, hi Sonia. And of course, I took it out of the package it came in. And you can find them in silver and in so-called gold. But even if they are fairly cheap, I found that they give a great, absolutely awesome effect when used in any type of Native American inspired um, necklaces and bracelets and pieces of jewelry generally, because they have that exact look of oxidized silver. And of course, we don't have the financial means to buy all these in real silver. So it came actually both with gold and silver. I am not super enthusiastic about the gold ones, but in some combinations they do look good. I know that I made a few faux carved coral. Hi, Colleen. And rosewood, um, carved rosewood beads and necklaces with those beads, and they looked really, really good. Hi, Ellen. And these are super, super cheap. Again, if I'm going to check the Amazon influencer store, if you go in my Amazon influencer store, you'll see that I have a whole fairly large jewelry findings section, and a fairly large beads section. For the other beads, now this is going to be a little bit harder because I did not find them on Amazon. I bought these beads, you're gonna laugh, but I bought them at the Dollar Tree. And I still have two packages I didn't open, one with reds and one with whites. And they are glass beads. They are not plastic, they are all glass, and they came in like 6 packs of 6. I got a blue, I got a golden brownish. And of course, being the Dollar Tree, it was just $1, not more than that. So this is the other kind of bead that I used, and I used the ones that are frosted glass, so they would look a little bit more gem-like, because obviously these do look like glass beads, right? So the way I did it, let me see which of them I didn't do. I didn't do one of them, one of these. So what I did, I simply did as you can see here, I did the wrapped loop at each end, because these are, and that will be the problem if you do, even if it's super, super fun to make beads with using cabochon molds, your problem will be to get bead caps for them, because there are so many shapes. High Frantel? So your best bet would be, if you don't have any bead caps that would fit them, your best bet will be to just put beads. At least that's what I do. If you find a different way of uh, stringing them or putting them together, obviously use whatever you like. So I'm getting, generally speaking, remember I told you that most of the time I'm wasting wire because I cannot grab it properly. So I always get a little bit more than I would need, because it's the wrap part that I have problems with. So I used the light yellow ones, frosted yellow. And if you have hand issues like me, you can watch what are the little tricks that I'm using, so I can still do these even if my hands are really bad. So what I do first, I put this at, and it depends where you want to go. And I have to confess, except for these, my jewelry pliers are not that terrific, because I mean, in the last 10 years or so, I didn't have the budget to get good quality ones. And at one point, what I had, I gave away because I thought honestly, I thought I would not live this long. And I definitely didn't think that I would be able to get back into doing anything. So I'm putting it at about the middle of the needle nose. And then I bring this a little bit over. And then I'm going to get it straight. I don't know if you can see, it kind of makes a straight angle. And then I bring the short one I need to remove my eyeglasses. Just a minute. I won't be able to see the anything else. I have bad eyesight. And I don't want to go more than one loop. So I'm going to cut it as close as I can. Be careful not to cut the whole thing. And then I'm going to make sure it's tightly wrapped so there wouldn't be any prickling or scratching or snagging or anything. And then I'm going to do, and of course you can use whatever beads you want. And I think I might have cut it too short. I will see. I might not, but I might have. We'll see if it works. This happens all the time, no worries. So again, I'm seeing where I got. So I got this way. So that's how I'm going to go. And see, I'm not measuring anything, because the moment I bring this over, it's going to leave me a little bit of space here. And at this point, I'm going to switch. Why I do the looped part? Because I want to make sure that they won't come apart. Of course, I could do just a simple loop, but I cannot work with 20 gauge. because it's too hard on my hands. So the 22, the loop may open. Not guaranteeing that this is a very well done loop. Might have to undo it and redo it after the live, but anyway, this is the idea of what we are doing. Now, on the little turquoise nuggets, yeah, that you know, marking them with a Sharpie is fine. I mean, I wouldn't have problems. I think that all I need to do is to get one of those that are, you know, tiered. I mean, I can mark as much as you want, but I can guarantee you that at one point or another, my hands will go either like this or like that, and it will be the exact same thing. I told you what I usually do. Generally speaking, I just get a crochet, and I use the crochet to do. But I don't want to teach people bad habits. Theoretically, you're supposed to use this, okay? So I'm showing you how to use this. Go away. I just started. Go, go. As usual, when Whisper sees me doing something, that's when he needs. Just a second. Go to bed. Don't look at me. Go to bed. So what I did on the faux turquoise and the faux coral, I actually, remember I told you that if you use that crayon, you're going to have to clean them really, really, really good. Bonsoir, Nelly. Hi, Willow. You're going to get alcohol and a paper towel, and then clean really, 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 really good with alcohol, all that crayon. You can actually leave a little bit of it because you want to have all these marks like. What I do not advise you to do is don't try to buff. Because if you try to buff, you're going to dirty your little wheels so bad that you'll need a new one. You know, the mini buffing wheels or whatever you're using. You can use a cotton cloth, but it's going to still come out. Now, what I'm going to do to still make them nice and shiny, obviously, I'm going to put some varnish on them, and I'm going to put it now so it has time to dry. And I'm going to use some of my do-it-yourself shellac because I made it fairly thin, so it's going to I'm glad. So it's going to dry really fast. Even if normally, remember that I told you many times, when you do faux turquoises, never ever shine them too much. Because turquoise that is very shiny is the sign that it's either a fake turquoise or a reconstituted turquoise. Because turquoises have a very low hardiness on the Mohs scale. So generally speaking, the harder a material is, the shinier it will get when polishing. The softer it is, the less glossy it will be. So as a general idea, if you want to make a turquoise that you want to be mistaken for a real one, you don't want to shine it too much. The imitation turquoises, generally speaking, are made either with dyed howlite, and howlite is way harder than turquoise. Just a second, let me grab, I forgot to grab me a few paper towels. Oh no, I have one here. It's much harder than turquoise, so it will shine much glossier. Or it's a reconstituted, unless we are talking about direct plastic, or it's a reconstituted turquoise that had injected resin in it. So even if on some gemstones, especially on fossils like the amylites and stuff, it is an accepted practice to use resin to stabilize them. Generally, stabilized turquoises are not valued as much. Even the natural ones may be stabilized with resin, because after a while, turquoises may change color. The process of copper oxidation keeps going on even after they are taken out from the ground. They are mined and cut and polished and all that. I'm going to put this aside, wait for this side to dry, and then do the other side. Now, one of the things that's very useful whenever you make a necklace to figure out what you want to do will be this. And why is this? Because you can see how the stuff comes around. But as I'm going to wait for this, let's work on something else. And I have to have a lot of stuff here, so there are a few things that I didn't bring. So just a second. Number one, remember, I'm sorry, my headphones are wired, so I need to take them out if I go away. While that is happening, the drying of the shellac, let's work a little bit on this. I have a tutorial out, Ellen. Let me actually look for it and I'll link it here. And if you look in my Amazon influencer store, in the varnishes section, you'll find it. The only problem is if you want completely transparent shellac, you need the platina flakes, and those are a little bit harder to find. Okay. And there you go. Here's the tutorial on how to make your own shellac. So as I said, we are going to attach some feathers on it. Let me figure out how I want it to be. I think I'm going to want it to be like this. So I will need a small hole here for the whatever bale I'm going to put here. And remember, I told you my favorite bales are the pinch bales, if they are not the big ones that are specially made. And we always go with the thinnest. Don't start with the direct size you need, because it might crack your clay. Always do first use a small size drill and just get back and use another one. Now, if you don't want this to look bad, you always have to start from the front. Otherwise, the liquid clay, even if it's well baked in there, it might start poking out. So let me see, how do I want to do it? Like this. And with the pinch bales, you also want to have at least the beginning of the hole, even if the metal in the pinch bale is hard enough to poke the polymer clay. But if your bale is too close to the edge, you can have the bad happening of that cracking your edge. It happened to me, and you have to work really, really gingerly with the pinch bale. Hi, Elaine. Okay, then I'm going to place one right under. And you see, I'm using the thinnest bit in my set. Then usually what I do to make sure that I'm going at the same distance is I'm generally using my finger as measurement. So I'm going to do one here. And then one here. You can use a popsicle stick. You don't necessarily have to use rulers and stuff like that. Did get that one a little bit too close to the edge. Okay, I got all my marks because I'm going to use 5 leaves. I did get this one a little bit too close to the edge, but let's hope I won't break the whole thing. I did this. Hola, Evelyn. Oh, Colombia. Hi, Lena. Yeah, unfortunately, YouTube since last year started this really stupid thing. It decides itself whom of your subscribers it's going to notify that you're live. I have no idea what it depends on. If it sends it to the people who watch your stuff the most and most often, or just randomly, I don't know. But it is known that it does not send notification to everybody on your subscription list. I mean, everybody who has clicked on the little bell. Now, if you did not click on the little bell, definitely you will not get this notification. So still make sure that, hi, Clay girl, make sure that you do click on the bell. Okay, trying to find them again. I don't like how close to the edge I came with this one. I just didn't see. Okay. Now that we did that, I'm going to do yet one more. Yes, and these are the best hand drills that I have ever had. And they come with 2 of these. This is the smallest drill set, and it's got a... Ah oui, Caroline. Vous avez maintenant la tempête de neige nous... On devait avoir ici hier, mais on ne l'a pas eu, seulement le froid. Okay, so this side is dried. Let me do the other side. And that's why I usually get my shellac very thin, because I want to avoid it glooping. I'd rather go with the second coat than have it gloop. Come on, sit there. And yeah, it's supposedly people who have pets have more the tendency to talk to inanimate objects, because they are used to talking to something that never answers back. Okay. Yeah. I started this as soon as I got 1,000 subscribers, and I've been pretty good, unless there were health issues or something, or losing the wire. I've been pretty good on keeping the schedule. Okay. Now let me grab one more thing, because soon if I don't, I might start losing track of where I put stuff that I took out. Oops. Okay, now let me give you another piece of advice. In pretty much all cities and towns, there will be a jewelry store with Chinese crap. And yeah, Chinesery crap. I have one in close to me, and most of the stuff is $1 or $2. The thing is that I would never wear that jewelry. I would never do anything with it, but it can be taken apart and you can get all kinds of stuff. Yeah, reload it. So what I do, I just buy stuff from there and then I take it apart and I get all kinds of chains. And like, see, I got this pretty little chain tassel. I had at one point, there was a necklace that had like almost 100 of these, one near the other, on a steel thing. So look at how many, and for $1.50. How much would I pay for 100 jumbo jump rings? Huh? And see all kinds of, and the good part is that it's all kinds of shapes of chains, and it's kind of hard to find cheap, unusual chains. This is another one. This is from another one, and I've been using these jump rings to make stuff as well. So let's get 2 of the large ones and do some leather stuff with them. Because yeah, they can be taken apart. Okay. See, wrong poke. And another one. I do have some in the Amazon influencer store, but as I said, I bought these at a Chinese cheapo, crappy jewelry store. I just buy all kinds of necklaces and other things. I'll show you a few more things here in a minute. Let me take out the jump rings. And then I take them apart and I get all kinds of jump rings and all kinds of chains and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use those. See, like this is also from one of those. These are also from one of those crappity crap things. Let me bring a few more things to show you. But yeah, visit your neighborhood Chinese crappy jewelry store. Here I have some things I didn't take apart yet. Like these. These are supposed to be earrings. Yeah, they are supposed to be earrings. I don't wear a lot because I don't go out a lot. I'm pretty stuck in the house. So yeah, see, this is just wire, but this is one I didn't take apart. See, that's another example of look how many jump rings there are here. And they are bigger than normal, and all kinds of little charms and owls and beads, and very interesting. This one I actually got it for the chain. Let me try and refocus the camera so you can see the chain better. It's round. See, it's like a made out of mesh, a round mesh thing. Yeah, Goodwill is horrible. They raise their prices because apparently the owner wants to make it a boutique, right? And they have the whatever jewelry is there in bags that you have to pay more than if you would get them brand new at Walmart. Also, Walmart has some $5 necklace that you can take apart. And then I got these because I really like see, this one has texture already. So I think that they will make pretty neat baking blanks for stuff. Let's see. And this one, these earrings. I know it's a little bit of a mess in this box now that I started messing up with it. See, that's another interesting thing that can be incorporated in a piece of jewelry, plus the earring findings that are here. That's another one. Another earring. I took the other one apart, but this one is actually very interesting. I got it for both the squares and for this bar. And all kinds of other bits and pieces from those. See, that's another earring thing. This. Actually, this one had another charm that I got for the cats. This. All kinds of stuff that you can put apart and you can use. Pull apart and use. That's something interesting. And for keychains. And this actually I got at the clearance end at Hobby Lobby. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it yet. But see, that's another bracelet. Let me try and unwrap it. That's another bracelet that had more charms. And it had $5 on it, but it was actually $2. And see, it's got a little tree of life. And then it's got a hamsa and a nice tassel. So yeah, visit your local cheapo crapola jewelry store because I'm sure you'll find a lot of stuff. This is from another piece. Lot of pieces that I just pulled apart and they are in their respective little organizers. Okay. No, yeah, I didn't grab the... Now let's work these with some leather. Let me first put them back together. Let me see if I didn't lose anything. Yes, the Decorum mica powders are awesome. My dog usually has very loud arguments with the male squirrel. A really big male squirrel who usually when I let Whisper in the backyard, he would come down on the tree trunk low enough to be just out of Whisper's reach. No matter how high Whisper would jump, and then it starts barking at Whisper, and then Whisper barks at him, of course. Now I'm going to get some suede. Let me see if this is the... And yes, I do have suedes in the store. Oh, by the way, I bought a couple more cabochon molds from PolyClay Play that I'm going to make beads with and probably a few tutorials with them. Let me show you what I got. So this is the one that I used for these. Okay, I used the long one, then I used this one, and then I used this one. Then I already had the almond cabs. Yeah, that's the only place you can find the... And then I got these that obviously they are pretty much more like for resin, but you can make very, very deep cabs that go perfectly for making beads, putting them back to back and making beads. And then I got these ones as well. So I'm going to get what? I have no idea what Pat Catans is. We don't have something like that here in the boondocks in Oklahoma. Okay, now I want to make some tassels, some leather tassels. By the way, a couple years ago, there was a huge demand for necklaces made with a combination of leather, suede, even jute, and glass and stones, and metal, of course. I know that there were a few big names were making a ton of money for that. And my best friend just asked me to make her something in that style. And of course I did. I didn't copy anything. I just used that style. And she was so happy because all the ladies at work were envying her stuff. And they were like, oh my God, how can you have money to buy all this? She was like, my husband bought this for me. Oh, come on. Okay, why am I making them so long? They're not supposed to be this long. Okay, so 3. Okay, I'm gonna give you an idea if I find it, but because it's going to be part of a future for beginners thing, so it's just a preview I'm giving you. You know how everybody's asking me, where can I find, because the paintbrushes are so expensive, and they always say that we need very fine hair paintbrushes with natural hair, or very, very soft and very blah, blah, blah. See this? These are the softest brushes. Yeah, you get a few more stuff than you need, but these are pretty much the softest brushes you can find for very, very cheap. I mean, yeah, this is $5 and you can find it even cheaper. But look how many paint brushes you have in here. Then you can also use this one for mokumegane and stuff. But there's like, I don't know, at least 8 paint brushes in here. Oh, let me see. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So considering this one is, yeah, 8 paint brushes for $5. And you know that the makeup brushes are very, very, very soft and very fine. So Okay. Okay, let me put this back. And I need to excuse myself for half a minute. I need to go take my pain pill. Okay, then another thing you can save really easy at your local cheapo stores. Of course, I did put some in the Amazon influencer store, but you know, like these cosmetic sponges that are so good for making cabochons and all that. You've seen me using them. We have a big lots, but you can find these at, so this was $2.50. See how many of them there are, and some of them are fairly large. And I actually found, see, there's a quite large one in there. It's about this wide. And I found a few large ones too. I put in the Amazon influencer store. On Amazon, they are not as cheap as these, but I found pretty much the same thing. And you can see how many sponges you have. Because after a while, they get dingy and not. I used to get them, they're like 6 of these in a $1 bag at the Dollar Tree. But this is a much better deal than the other one. All right. So let's make some leather tassels. And I'm going to use 24 gauge wire on this. Dang. Yeah, we went down to, let me see, let me do the translation. Fahrenheit to Celsius. Yeah, we only went down to -8 Celsius here last night. But we are not Canada. Sometimes Oklahoma can get colder than the North Pole. Okay, so you saw what I did. I took 3 strands and I'm putting them on a big circle. You can use actually keyring circles for this as well. Just repurpose them for humongous jump rings. Just make sure that the leather is nicely at the same in the same flat against the jump ring. And I'm going to grab some 24 gauge wire, which is much thinner. Flatten those ends well. I don't expect this to look very nice. Trying to keep it so far. I'm going to tell you my biggest issue, and it doesn't matter what kind of eyeglasses I'm wearing. My biggest problem is that holding the thing right here, so it would be the perfect view for the camera, is exactly in between, because I don't see far, okay? I am short-sighted. But if I'm wearing the glasses and I'm bringing something too close to my eyes, it happens exactly like it happens for the camera. See how you cannot see, you see kind of blurry. If I remove my eyeglasses, because I am so short-sighted, this is about the distance where I see blurry. So that's why sometimes I have issues making stuff properly. And most of the time when I'm doing sculpting on live, I'm sculpting fairly blind. So ideally what you need to do is to wrap this and then flatten the wire. And honestly, when I have stuff like this, what I like to do is to put a drop of jewelry cement here. And then make sure that your ends are all the same length. Now let's do the second one. And again, make sure that it's nicely flat. And wrap it fairly tight. Yeah, usually that's how much the sponges are. The problem is, and I'll be very honest with you, if I am lucky and my best friend has time to take me other places, because usually she's coming to help me do my grocery shopping, and if she has time to take me other places, that is awesome. If not, I told you I cannot really drive myself too far, and unfortunately the closest Hobby Lobby and stuff would be more than 15 minutes drive for me, because once I try to drive for more than 10-15 minutes at a time, I start getting in a lot of pain. So a lot of times I have to buy stuff on Amazon or online. That's the only way I can have access to those things. And I'm going to get it the same length. Why snow? We don't have snow. We never have snow. Okay. Now I think it's time to place the feathers on this. Okay, where's my feathers? God. And there we go. I need 5 feathers. And yes, I did add feathers to the... I think I put them in charms. Okay. And you can get them just with the simple loop on both sides, or you can also use another little bead to attach them. I think I want a... Do I want a yellow or do I want a blue? I think a blue looks better. Now this I should have done ahead of time and leave just one to do, because this is going to take a while. Okay. I'd actually use this one. Now this is a 24 gauge, so it's much easier to handle. You can actually place more than just one bead. Let me do on the ones on the sides 3 beads, the ones in the middle 2, and the ones in the next 2, and the one in the very middle just 1. And there we go. They should work just fine. Now here you don't want it to go too tight, because you want it to kind of move a little bit. So don't close the loop too tight. I see why it's hard for me to do all this and keep it in the camera view. Still. Not even sure I can do it properly in the camera view. Yeah, I did it too tight. I think I'm gonna have to do it off camera. I cannot do this on the camera. I'll have to tie the feathers off camera. But you got the idea on what you're supposed to do. I'll finish the necklace without the feathers, and then I'll put the feathers on and take a photo and post it on Facebook. I am sorry. I just cannot do it. Not with my hands in this position and at this distance from my eyes. I apologize. But you got the idea. It's a wrapped loop on the feather, then beads, then a larger wrapped loop here so the feathers can move freely. Okay, bye, Anna. Lena, you still didn't tell me what was the error you were getting, because I wasn't able to duplicate that thing. Okay. Let's get this then and figure out how this is going to work. So if this goes here, I'm going to have to make another leather thing for the middle here. I might not use all the beads on this. If I want to use the pendant. And pretty much like this should be okay. Right. And then I'll add the feathers down here to make this look like a dream catcher. And all the feathers down on here. So I did a mistake. I didn't need a bail thing here. I needed two on each side. I didn't think about it. So pretty much how am I going to connect these together? Simply with, and again, I hope I can do it on the camera, with the double coil jump rings. Let me grab my plier. Ah, bonjour Cécile. J'ai pas vu que tu étais là. So, this is one of the best things for double coil rings, because you just do this, and most of the time, if you're me, you drop it. Actually, I need to get it on the other side, and I'm going to use this. Now, it's a lot of steps, but yeah, see what happens. That's my problem. My hands twitch and I move and I don't know what the heck I'm doing anymore. No. Okay, and one more. And this time I think I'm going to put the big jump ring first. Yeah. I should have put 2 of these when I had them open. Ah, I got them in the proper position. This was my friend Debra who bought for me this plier. She kept telling me, because she saw me struggling with these double coil things. She was like, I have the perfect thing for you because I had the same issues, and this is what saved me. See how that works perfectly. No, I want to do at least one half before I have to stop because of pain. So you can see how it looks like when it's nice and put together. Now on this type of necklace, as closing, it's fastening, I would never recommend to use a magnet thing because it is too heavy. Unless you did your cabochons using ultralight, it will definitely be too heavy to be able to be held together with a magnet thing. So here at the end, there will be a little bit of chain, and I will be putting a lobster clasp. And so here I'm going to put 2 pinch clasps. But in essence, this is pretty much how the whole story goes. Let me see what I missed on the chat. God, it's horrible when you have a headset and you need to put your glasses on and take your glasses off. Okay, hi Joe. No, see, I have no problem with close. I have a perfect close vision. But when I'm wearing my eyeglasses for far, that interferes with my close vision. No, I'm going to put a little bit of a jewelry cement there to cover it up. Right here. To put together the... That's why I never worry about this kind of stuff. Generally speaking, remember when you put these as bails on a piece of jewelry, always put the open end inside the clay. But in this case, there's something, let me actually grab it to show it to you. It's called plastic cement. Just make sure that you put it on, don't put it on aluminum because it might get hot. Anyway, this position is killing my neck. I'm sorry, I cannot do it much of anything anymore because I have to have my neck bent, and remember that the damage to my spine is essentially in the cervical area. And when I'm bending my head forward, it makes my arms and hands go numb. That's why I'm having issues. When I'm putting together jewelry for myself, um, I'm usually working on the kitchen table and I bring the stuff right up to my face so it doesn't mess up my neck. But you got the whole idea, and as I said, I'm going to finish this and off camera and post it on a short video on Facebook. I might put a short video on YouTube just to show you how it came up in the end, how it looks finished. So, I think I'm having to finish this because I'm starting to be in pain. At least I was up for over an hour. And I gave you all the tips and tricks on how to finish the separate elements and where to get some other stuff. And these you actually can make earrings with the extra. If you made 3 pairs of, or these ones, actually, these would look better as earrings, I think. If you made 3 pairs of beads like I did and they are too much, depends on how long you want your necklace to be. Because with this and with the thing, it would be like 20, 22 inches. It would be fairly long. And you can do actually just place another feather at the end of it and make matching earrings to the necklace. Merci, Caroline. By the way, who said that they had issues with yeah, I think I need 3 trifocals, Elaine. Who said that they have they don't know if they can afford uh bifocals right now. Let me check on something real quick because I want to go to my neighborhood one. Let me see. You might want to check iMart Express because they have you know how they always have all kinds of deals. And they had about a couple months ago, and usually they run it like every 2 months or every 3 months. They had bifocals for $75. So you might want to keep checking every week the iMart Express to see what they have. Yeah, I know how you're talking about. No, and they had whatchamacallit, the iMart Express had the deal on progressive bifocal, so not the line. So okay, I have to go lay down right now. And after my neck gets better and my hands stop tingling and get back from numbness, I'll finish this and I'll do a short live probably to show you how it came up. But you can see the 4 turquoise nuggets. I only did one set. This is the other set. Remember, I did one with crayon and the other one I did with a powder. And I told you can use chalk pastels on it. And of course, it's not shiny, but you can see that it does look like turquoises. And the coral looks like coral. If you want to look at it from close up, let me. It looks yellower on the screen than it looks on in real life. Oops. See, I'm starting to drop stuff. I even felt this was the finger that twitched. And the turquoise nugget, for turquoise nugget. But yeah, let me get my hands to come back to normal and I'll be working on this. So, hi, Judy, you're late. I'm just finishing it. Okay, see you next Sunday. And actually, see you in a little while as soon as I finish this and I'll get back online. But if you won't be up to see it when I am on, then I'll see you next week on Sunday. And we'll do something else marvelous and awesome. Okay. Happy claying.